here now at East Coweta High School with head football coach John Small. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Season's off to a fast start. I mean, we're in week 3. It's kind of hard to believe, huh?
Yeah, it goes so fast. You wait so long to get to it, then it's a blur. It goes so quick.
Yeah, and you know, along those lines, big news professionally and personally last week, your 100th win. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, exciting night. You know, my family was here, and obviously it's always been about the kids and the coaches you get a chance to work with, and kind of embarrassing when people celebrate you as an individual, but you got to give a lot of credit to all the kids I had a chance to coach and the support from my family, and it's just been an awesome ride.
Yeah, and I'm sure, you know, as you had a chance maybe last Saturday or Sunday morning before you started on this week, when you had a chance to reflect on it, I'm sure a lot of images of kids that you've coached and parents that you've had relationships with over the years came to mind.
Yeah, a lot of people reached out, which made it special. Some people I hadn't talked to in a long time, some former players from 10 years ago that you still know they're there watching you, and you're still there for them, and that made it special. And it didn't last long because we were trying to figure out how we could win 101.
That's right. That's right. You're on to the next one. Yeah. Typical coach, on to the next. Yeah. Well, you know, talk a little bit about it. Kind of leads me into what I want to talk to you about. What's athletics mean in the life of a kid? All those kids that you mentioned, and I still call them kids, that reached out to you over the weekend. Talk about what it means to them to be able to participate in athletics.
Well, I think I've always believed that athletics in a school is kind of the stimulus for the academics, because if kids are involved in something, they have adults around them every single day. They're guiding them, they're directing them, they're keeping them focused on what they got to do, and then it carries over into the classroom. Also been a big believer that the way the football season goes kind of is the compass of the school of how it goes the rest of the year. So there's a lot of pressure on that at the beginning of the year, because you want to do well, not only for your kids you coach, but it also impacts the school morale, those types of things. So, you know, it goes back to the recreation leagues, you know, little kids being involved. And we have our youth night coming up in 2 weeks, and, you know, we're inviting all the middle school teams, the campers that came to camp, the Brooks Bears, the Sharpsburg Indians, the Coweta Rec Department. So I hope we have 1,000 kids here to let them see what East Coweta football is all about, but also what the atmosphere at East Coweta is as a whole.
Yeah, and I've heard you say it before, you know, we're not just building academic skills, great. We're building life skills in kids, going through adversity, how you respond to those things. And I've heard you say before, you're trying to develop, of course, players, but you're also trying to develop husbands, fathers, members of the community.
I mean, every day in football, I think it's the greatest sport of teaching adversity, because you're going to face it every single day, whether you're in the weight room, whether you're on the practice field, whether you're on the bus to the game, in the game. And so every opportunity we have as coaches that we can pull a lesson from that and teach them about life, then when they're 30, they'll reflect back on that and go, I remember I handled this tough situation, I can handle this, you know. Yeah. And that's what I pull a lot of things from, is the coaches that poured into me back in the day. And I've always been a big believer that, you know, I love to win, I love to compete, but I'm a firm believer that when I die one day, I'm not taking wins with me, but we can take as many kids as we can.
That's right. That's right. And you know, you live that out in the way you schedule. I've watched you since you've been here and how you schedule. You don't schedule 5 wins before region play. You schedule some adversity so you can build character in your team.
Yeah, and a lot of times people thought I was crazy for doing
that. I know I did. No.
Yeah, but I've always been a big believer that if you want to be the best, you got to play the best in order to beat the best. And you may have some setbacks during that and some losses, but if you can learn from it and build off of it, it pays off down the road come playoff time. And so we may have a lot more wins had we scheduled differently, but it's not about that. But playing tough people keeps your kids alert every week. They stay focused, they stay locked in. And with the recruiting world today, you want to give kids an opportunity to compete against the best, so colleges can see them playing good teams. And when colleges come look at our kids, they go, well, y'all play a tough schedule, so we know they're good players if they're making plays against these teams. So we kind of have a history of that.
Well, you're definitely living that out. Hillgrove this week, then I know you got Lambert coming up. Of course, Carrollton's on the schedule, Lowndes on the schedule. There's no easy ones out there.
No easy ones. Plus, it challenges you as a coach too. And if you're trying to grow young coaches and develop them, you know, playing easy teams doesn't help you grow. You know, so we're trying to develop young coaches as well, because I'm not going to do this forever, and we got to have guys that can step in and take over and do those types of things.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the 100th win. I know you don't want to hear it, but congratulations, and thank you for all you're doing to develop these kids out here, and you know, to football's a heartbeat of this community. And the way you run your program, the way you guys go about it, you represent East Coweta very well. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you. You make it easy because the support you give us in this county, and a lot of people don't have that, so we appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you for that. That's all we got, folks. John Small, head coach at East Coweta High School.